Okay, so the way Bootstrap works is it works based on a grid system. You have 12 points or grids across the web page, and as you'll see when we start actually creating content, the particular classes to say how big those are. Now let's just quickly take a look. Now let's just quickly take a look at this page, getbootstrap.com. This is, well, where you would get Bootstrap from if you're going to download it, but it's also where all the information about Bootstrap is held. Now, I wanted to bring you to this page very quickly in that you can see here, first of all, we have different class prefixes. So the one we're going to use is SM, which is for small devices and tablets. If I was to set it up for just to be desktops, then we want MD. I'm using SM just purely because I want to set it to be a little bit more for small devices. But MD, or then you could actually have the large, which is, as you see there, greater than 1200 pixels. Then this is our horizontal stack, our grid. So we can have, if we were using MD as an example, same with SM and so on. One is to break it down into the smallest size, and you can see there's 12 across, and you could have like an 8 and a 4, for example, or a 444, which is a common one, or 6 which is what I'm going to use at the moment. You could, for example, have a 444, or you could actually have a, I don't know, a 5 and then have a 1 in the middle. You can see you could have a 1 4 1 4 1. You can break it down to lots of different formats, but that's the point. It's based on a 12-point grid system, and then you can break it down into whatever size you want. So again, back to our web page. What I'm going to do is, after this class jumbotron, I only want to affect this part. So we can see that's where that ends. Let's create our first column. But before we begin that, what we need to do, we have to say div class equals row. This is just to put them on a row. Okay, I'm going to put all inside that but there. And then the next thing we want to do, we want to set a new div. Then we say class is equal to col dash sm dash 6, because it's going to take up 6 of those little grids. It's going to take up half the screen basically. And then inside there I'm going to put my content. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come across to this page here, my last page, and I'm going to copy the content. I'm just going to copy the text because the images themselves are a bit big. What you could do is you can actually copy the images in there. We could have inside here a second class, okay, and then what we could actually do, we could have our own CSS control the size of that image like we did in the previous website. But just for now, just to give you the example of using Bootstrap and how we do this, I'm just going to put the text in there. That way you can actually see it working nicely. So then we're going to have another div class equals col sm6 again, because it's taken up 6 of that. And then all I'm going to do again is I'm going to come back and I'm going to copy this second bit of text here all the way to there, and I'm going to go back to my Bootstrap and I'm just going to paste it in there. Okay, make sure it's saved, and then okay, so moving upwards through the page, let's tackle this part next, shall we? So we go back to brackets, and all that bit there is within this little part here. Okay, what I'm going to do again is I'm going to go back to my old file, my original one here, sorry, not that one, this one there, and I'm going to go to this little part here, but I don't really want to copy everything because a lot of it there is just a bit of pre-text from my previous to the HTML skeleton. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that bit. I'll go back to Bootstrap. We already have a hello world actually, so let's just take all this out from there through to the MP. Okay, and then just down. Welcome to our new Bootstrap web page. Lovely. Just a quick text. What you'd probably do within there is introduce a little bit more, but I just want to put a little bit of content in there. But what I'm also going to do, I'm actually going to add a button in there. And what this button is going to do is going to just go back to the about. So let's actually put a little bit in there saying, do you want to know more? Then click the button. Right, okay. So what we're going to do next, we're going to use another class. I'm actually going to put this within a P tag. Okay, and then I'm going to say it's a link. So a class equals button, and also button primary, and also button -lg. I'm actually using 3 classes, as you can see within there. My href is going to be about, okay, because we say we just want to load the about button. The role is of button, okay, and then we want to put some text. And the text is going to be the text that they see on the button. So we'll just say, learn more. Okay, now if I was to go to my web page, there we have a lovely button. As you can see, my hello world, welcome to the new Bootstrap web page. And if I click that button, it goes to our About Us page. So that's 2 sections done. We actually have our head. Just refresh that page with a lovely button on, and we have our text. So should we work on this menu? That'll be the next thing, and then one more after that.